Shalom, shalom, grand rising, light, love, and alafia to you. Blessings, isikele lekele in kosukukulu. Yes, it is now the rising of the mother. It is now the feminine principle coming forth. I spoke on this a couple of years ago, that the women shall arise in the last day. And the initial teaching I was given was based on the book of Esther. And I have a video on my YouTube channel, I believe in 2014, 2015, I posted the video concerning women shall arise. The feminine principle, the feminine power shall return, the authority of the feminine. And I used the book of Esther because that's what I was given on the level of understanding that I had at that time concerning dialects, concerning the text that was left behind for us, concerning the mental construct that was in my way, in my midst. And that construct was deciphering through religious constructs. I was tearing down and taking down the mental constructs that was placed before us concerning religions. And I was made to observe the different religions and to be able to teach in my timeline when I would come forth concerning the religious platform, Christianity, Catholicism, Pentecostal, and all of the different religions that were made to be stumbling blocks for us. So as I was working through taking those mental constructs down, tearing them down, and stripping those away, I was given a download concerning the book of Esther. And that revelation was letting me know that the woman was rising. And this is why I was being given enhanced awareness, enhanced knowledge on certain topics that will come into our present day. Now, the year 2020, the year of vision, the year of manifestation, the year of mirroring, the year of the self, the year of standing off and facing off the self, basically looking the self eye to eye and taking away the old self to rise up the new self. And I was given the book of Esther because despite all of her warnings and understanding, the training she received and the women received during the time they were to be chosen as queens or as a potential queen for the king at that time, they received the training. And in that training, they knew the do's and don'ts. They had the do's and don'ts, meaning she knew the rules in approaching the king when he was with his guest or his political meeting or his press with the outside kingdoms and their leaders. There was a protocol that needed to be followed if anyone wanted to approach him. Because of this, she had to fast and pray. That means that she had to vomit up or spew up the things that was embedded within her. And she had to purify herself, to prepare herself for breaching the masculine order. And the reason why she had to breach the masculine order is due to the masculine had rose up to face off the feminine. They wanted a piece of the power. They wanted it to be masculine over feminine, and no longer to be mirrored or either a subsidiary of the feminine. Let's trace back a moment. We have always been told in scripture that the Godhead, the head of the family, was the male. We use that terminology still to this day due to the truth of the matter is it's based off the marriage concept, that the man finds the wife and he becomes the head of the household. So I use that concept for those that are rising up to the level of which I had to first step into. 7 years ago, I had to step into my ascended place in order to teach those that was going to go to the stripping away process. And when this took place, I received a download concerning the book of Esther, and it showed how she had to strip away. She had to remove the old concept out of her being, and she was aware of that. She knew that the fastest way to get that done was through fasting and prayer. So to speed up to present day, the book of Esther is informing that women shall have the authority again in the last day, because she rose up and breached the masculine order. She went before the masculine to put in her request, and they presented it as a request, but a breaching, and for them to mention that it would be a threat for her that could take her life. That tells me that she did not simply request, she almost demanded his attention. And because she had his love is a very high power, that a man who has love, he will allow certain things to take place, such as with Samson and Delilah. Samson had extreme power. He was a chosen battle axe or soldier or chosen wall for the people. And I talk in these terms in this explanation is because I have to teach those that have come out of religious concepts, religious constructs, religious structures. I have to teach them, and so I have to keep my conversation at a level of understanding for their platform. And in saying that, I will say that with the Samson and Delilah story, to use as your reference, the woman was used because they knew that love could compel him to go against his own principles and go against his own vow to what he believed in, to what he was invested in for his own power and authority. He was made to breach that just from dealing with Delilah because of love. So with the story of Esther, she knew that she had his love and his favor. And that's why she approached him saying, if the king does love me and finds favor in me, he will hear my proposition, my proposal, my presentation. Yet I want to welcome him to a banquet. And this was done because she had to make sure he understood that she was coming in Alafia, Shalom, or she was coming in a great peace. And he accepted her. He accepted the presentation. He accepted her breaching because of his love and his favor in her. He had to allow the others to see that his rulership, no matter what the rules stated, he was still in power. So he allowed her request. He allowed the breaching process. And this is how she was able to take back authority. Now, to speed up to present day, as I keep mentioning, but I have not stated the actual moral to this conversation. Okay, the present day concept is 2020, the year manifestation, the year vision, the year of authority, the year of the woman or the feminine rising, is going to come through the power of love, the love of the self, because women have torn themselves down. They are unloved. They are divorced. They are widowed. They are abandoned. They are castaways. They have been demeaned in certain nations. They are lower on the pole. In certain nations, race doesn't even hold weight to the lower polarity of a feminine aspect in the nation. Women would be lower, even concerning race, on the class level. And so love is being restored now. And it starts with the love of self, facing off yourself in the mirror and restoring love back to the self. Then love unto others and creation, nature, and things surrounding us. Love of learning, love of investing in your gift, investing in the self, investing in the mind. Loving that you have increased and you are increasing. Because of the exertion of love, the energy of love, your true love from the heavens shall be restored unto you this year. And it should carry on off until the next year. That your true divine love, your source, the thing that makes you whole and complete, this individual, when he comes, he is going to rectify everything that had been stolen and held back from you, from the negative energies or the demonic entities that float about. He will rectify and he will root up those things. This is why it says that Yeshua, he healed Miriam Magdala of all of her demons. Why? Because in the lost text, he declares that Miriam Magdala was his wife indeed, and he was one with her. She is his wife, and he was married. Many people didn't want us to know that, because if we knew Yeshua was married, we would want to know more about his wife, and we would want to know more about the female that was qualified to be his component or companion or his counterpart, and we will want to understand why he chose her. And then we will find out that Miriam herself, in her lost text, she was just as wise and powerful and authoritative. Scriptures basically state her as being a business owner who helped to fund and finance Yeshua's ministry. If she had that type of power from one that was sent from heaven, who could be blessed in all things, just imagine what she was truly like. And if we delve deeper into that, we would know the truth of the female or the feminine principle that is now being released upon the earth. And the feminine is returned now. 2020 marked this. The women everywhere, in this hour, whatever they speak, whatever they think, whatever they put their hearts to, they shall have favor. But the trick to the matter of the let's say the deception would be that the feminine She is thinking on a lower dimensional plane. She has not yet ascended into her wisdom platform, her connection with the divine. So if she manifests anything in this hour without having that type of training, she will manifest material things to her, and that would be her existence. So when this hour closes for her, she would only have gathered to herself materialism and things that will profit her on the world. And the text we can use for that is when a man, let's put it this way, what profits a man who has gained the whole world but has lost his soul? So adding the lower amenities or the luxuries of the world, it takes you furthest or farther away from your divine self and obtaining the true purpose that you were created and birthed for. So those who are stepping into the divine to get higher training, learning from one that has ascended, this female will indeed draw unto herself the absolute, meaning she will draw to herself what's needed for her ascension, what is required for her purpose, why she was birthed into the earth, and how she would be promoted in the spirit. So Esther, she breached for us an example. She breached in her timeline so that we can have an example of the feminine principle that rose up in a previous life. And that's what's taking place now. That's all I wanted to add right now in the hour, but the promotion has come. There's a level of rising, and as an ascendant master, I've been an ascendant master for years, meaning I have been rebirthed and resurrected several times. I'm aware of that and of the self, and I only share that with someone who's truly ready to receive that information and that knowledge. I'm aware of my past life and things that I have done, and I know that I was sent again. This has been confirmed many times for me. So now I'm at a platform for this existence, for this reality, to bring those out of this dimension to the higher dimension. So I'm just getting ready for the next level, the next dimension that I have to pull someone up to. And I'm grateful to the divine. I'm thankful to the Most High. I give honor and praise and allegiance to the higher divine. Alafia and Shalom. Greetings to all who are ready to receive.